So, Erica, I want to first ask you about this phenomenon called survivor guilt. How do you suggest we navigate those feelings?
So one of the things that I talk most with clients about and comes up in almost every presentation I give is the word should, and how that can lead when we talk about kind of self-critical self-talk. The shoulds become a place where a lot of guilt and shame comes. So if I say I should be feeling a certain way, or I shouldn't be feeling a certain way, all of a sudden I'm adding guilt and shame on just my emotions that are just messengers. So if I can take a step away from the shoulds and say, this is what I'm feeling. I wish maybe I was just feeling relief, but I'm also feeling some frustration because of the power outages I'm dealing with, or the debris cleanup that I have to do. I understand it's maybe not as much as other people are dealing with, and I can also feel heartbroken for them. So I can feel all of those things at once versus putting that should where that guilt comes.
So let the feelings flow and release ourselves of being guilty or feeling guilty about survivor guilt. I love that. Well, let's talk about how we can go further into caring for our own emotional health before we can really help other people. How do you suggest we care for our own emotional health?
And we have to put our oxygen mask on first. You're exactly right. In order to help others, we have to make sure we're getting filled up. Most of us over the last week have been stuck in fight or flight. So this part of the nervous system that activates us to be able to face a threat. But now that the threat has mostly passed, we have to be able to pull ourselves out of that into the rest and digest part of our nervous system. And the number one way to do that is slow, deep breathing. And so it's real specific in the way that I teach clients to do it. And it's by taking an inhale through your nose for about a count of 6, holding it for a beat, taking a little more air in, and then exhaling through your nose for a count of about 8. What that does is that forces that other system to come into play and forces the other fight or flight system to relax a little bit, and it helps us feel safe so that we can figure out what we need to do next.
I love that. Rest and digest as opposed to fight or flight. And our body has a built-in physiological way to fight those kinds of tendencies.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful. So then how can we help carry the burdens of other people, particularly for people in our community who are so closely connected to people who are really suffering down there, and we have personal connections with them? How can we help people with what they're struggling with right now?
Once we're filled up, we have that opportunity, and to decide how to be of service. It can be big or small or a combination. And so if you have that propensity or that interest in helping, luckily technology, the church even, social media, it can help us find opportunities to give, whether it be financial support, donations, time, energy. But then we also might know a family who's been specifically affected. Is maybe we can talk to them about what they need, or we can just come to them with support. And I'm really big on the tangible support piece. And so an example in even just my neighborhood is we were out of power at 8 a.m. on Thursday starting yard cleanup. And the one neighbor who had power brought coffee for everyone. Her own coffee pot, just came and poured everyone coffee, anyone on the block who needed it. And it was that idea of we're in this together, and we can help each other with what we have available. And so she had power available, so she brought coffee. If you have time available, maybe it's helping with cleanup of a neighbor's yard. Maybe it's making a meal, and instead of saying, when can I make dinner for you? It's saying, does Sunday or Monday work for you? I've got some dinner to drop off. Or can I take your kids for the afternoon? Does Saturday or Sunday work? And you're much more likely to get that offer taken up on if it's that tangible and that concrete versus just that general offer of what can I do that you might never hear a response from.
Erica, thank you for this wisdom. Thank you for these great examples, and thank you for all that you do.
Absolutely.